independence and choice in what she gets for gifts.
Yeah.
I mean, there was a time when Darlene would go to like Value Village or whatever and pick out clothes for her to wear over the summer while she's here. And then one time she came to visit and basically took Darlene aside and said, yeah, can you like stop buying clothes? Because you're not picking stuff that I like anymore? Not into Minnie Mouse anymore? Or, Hello Kitty and stuff. So that's enough of that. If you want to take me clothes shopping, I'll choose what I'm going to get. So that was pretty funny when that transition happened. Hey everybody, welcome to episode 22 of the world-renowned podcast
Talkbots.
Did you listen to the last episode?
No.
Oh, so you never saw what I did, eh?
Nope. That's not a video. I would have heard it though.
I learned, funny. I learned a cheap parlor trick audio effect to make us sound like robots when we did the Talkbots thing.
Cool.
And it's okay. It's okay. I may continue to use it, but I'm probably going to choose to see if I can actually find like a DSP or something that I can plug into Audacity that actually does a better job. Because it took a lot of effort just to pull it off for the 5 seconds that it lasts.
Yeah, well.
And the entire
That's show business, baby.
That's right.
Fuck.
So this week's topic, speaking of sound, I wanted to, and surprisingly Adam went for it. I really wasn't expecting him to say yes. So it's all on me now to actually pull this off. Yeah, when we were doing that episode on how things have changed in terms of how we use technology, I kept coming across these ridiculous pictures of these stereo system stacks of equipment that we used to have in the 70s and the 80s that were just like totally out of control. The stuff that we used to do. Having said that, I want to try to kind of talk to people who have never experienced an actual full-on stereo system in their home or, in their experience period, and sort of give them some insight as to what we used to have and what you can actually still do today in terms of building a proper stereo system so that you can actually enjoy the music beyond what your phone and your AirPods would provide to you. For a lot of people, they think that's all they need. There's really no reason to spend any money on any additional equipment for just the enjoyment of listening to music. And I beg to differ. Damn it.
As you do that curmudgeon impression there, I think it's going to be important to recognize who our audience is.
Oh,
Everybody
sure.
who listens to this knows what the fuck a stereo stack is. Every one of them. Nobody is like, I wonder what that is. So I think it would make more sense if you reminisce about your stereo stacks and the stuff you had. Don't enlighten people, because they all know it.
Okay.
Everybody's my age or older, frankly.
Right.
And they all had them. We had one. I never had one. But like I was the end of the line.
Right.
I had a boombox.
The reason why I like talking about stereo equipment is because, well, when I was a kid, when I was at home growing up, we didn't really have anything fancy.
Sure.
I mean, my dad had this cube-shaped, supposedly high-quality Clairtone stereo box that was supposedly one of the better machines that you could buy. But I never really, like, I had no idea what a good sounding stereo system sounded like until I accidentally went along with Darlene to go buy a couch in Kingston, Ontario. We had found a couch that somebody was selling used, and we went to this house that was just outside of the city. And like we walked into this place and they're like, okay, there's the couch. And while she's looking at the couch and I took one look at it, and meanwhile I'm looking over at the other end of the living room, because at the other end of the living room was this art piece stereo system of really high quality, high end stuff that was actually playing music at the time. And all the music was being fed into these ribbon towers, these Martin Logan ribbon towers that I had heard about, but had never seen in real or heard in real life. And as I'm standing there listening to this music, you know, pretty much as if for the first time, because the quality was that good. You'd stand there and your eyes were playing tricks on you because it sounded like the band was right there playing the music, to the point where you could almost visualize where each member
Right.
was in the soundstage. And I had never heard that kind of quality and accuracy in music before.
Right.
So that blew my mind.
Right.
And I was just like, holy crap, it actually does matter what kind of equipment that you get. And, you know, I didn't really give it much more thought except, you know, to the realization that, well, I'm never going to be able to afford that system because it was, the speakers alone were probably worth $5,000, you know.
Right.
And I mean, I'd be lucky if I could spend $5,000 on an entire system, never mind just the speakers. But then, because I was DJing on the side and I needed to have some idea of what separated good equipment from not so good equipment, because I didn't want, when I played my music, for it to sound like garbage, like some DJs did, where they just schlepped a bunch of amplifiers and attached them to PA speakers or
Right.
whatever, right?
Yeah.
And
Repurposed monitors.
yeah,
and shit
like,
that.
and so I started hanging out at like actual stereo stores, actual stereo shops. And that's when I started my real education on, you know, what separates good gear from not so good gear. And is there really a difference? Because you walk into, and this is the challenge that I would offer to pretty much anybody that's listening to this podcast, whether they're of the generation that has only ever listened to their music on their phone and their their earbuds, or people who have actually had stereo equipment, but, you know, don't really think that that's something that they should care about anymore because their priorities have changed. I would challenge any of those people to just find a high-end stereo store and just go in. And, you know, when they say, so what's going on? What are you here for? Just be honest and say, I'm being told that there's a reason why people spend thousands of dollars on their audio gear, and I'd like you to show me what that sounds like. And they will fall all over each other trying to prove to you what a really good sounding audio system
Audiophiles are
sounds like.
fucking weirdos. 'Cause
They are.
will
They're
absolutely do that.
Oh yeah, they
they're
will.
fucking
And they
weird.
won't even, and they'll, you know, they'll be like, you can't leave.
Yeah.
Well, we're not done with the demo yet.
Oh yeah, no. That was just one song.
They'll ask you what kind of music you like. You'll tell them, and they'll go, "Well, we won't be playing any of that."
Right. Right.
But you know, make sure that they play some jazz and some pop and, you know, stuff that you actually do like. Make sure they play some Steely Dan. You know, no, seriously, because not only are they well recorded, they tend to be well recorded albums, very well produced albums. Their sound quality is usually quite nice and gives you an idea, you know, what separates, why high-end audio gear or even mid-end audio gear can be a really big deal. What
What the high end and I I've experienced high end once, and I think I've told the story on here before. Is I walked into the audio room on 10th and 14th. Yeah, I just
Oh
walked,
yeah, that place.
I just walked
I haven't
in there
even
one
been
day.
in that place.
and I just did exactly that.
Right.
And I was, peed my pants a bit. It
Right.
was amazing.
Yeah.
But when my first stereo I bought for myself, it was low end but higher than a boombox thing, because I got a boombox for Christmas.
Right.
And then I had a job for the first time, and I bought some all-in-one stereo. And what it showed me is the quality of the production of the albums I'm listening to,
Yeah.
and what makes a good produced album
Yes.
to a poorly produced
Right.
album. Yeah,
Yeah.
because you can hear it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, feel it. Yeah, it was cool.
And I mean, full disclosure here. If your idea of good music is Christina Aguilera, then don't bother wasting your money. Don't even think about buying a high-end or even a mid-end stereo system, because you're not going to really notice that much of a difference, because most modern pop music is way overdriven. It's way too compressed. There's no dynamic range there. It's,
No, it's digital
balls
music.
to the wall, full blast music.
Right. I see what you're saying.
And it's not going to sound any better on higher end equipment. But if you are the type of person who likes to listen occasionally to classical music, jazz music, any kind of fusion music that blends one genre of music with another from the 70s or 80s or even 90s. And there are some artists that have very well produced music from today's catalog. A good example of that would be that female artist, unfortunately, that overdosed.
Leslie, or no, what's
From Britain,
Oh.
that did the jazz standards.
Amy Winehouse?
Yeah, Amy Winehouse.
Yeah.
Her albums were very well produced.
Yep.
In comparison to most of your typical pop albums.
Sure.
And there are others as well. Turn Breaks is another band that do a really good job with their sound. Talk, especially some of their later stuff, when they started sort of getting back into out of pop and into jazz. If it's something you've never experienced before, you owe it to yourself to at least try it out, and then then decide for yourself whether you kind of want to go down that road. And if you're afraid to go down that road because you're afraid that you're going to have to spend thousands and thousands of dollars, no, you don't. But just be ready for a very different experience listening to music than sitting in a chair with two pieces of plastic stuffed in your ears, listening to compressed audio, because that's mistake number one. I fear that the world is going to no longer be exposed to lossless audio, whether it's analog vinyl or in digital form.
Most of Apple Music's catalog
Is
now
available in lossless.
Is lossless,
But
by
you
default.
have to turn that switch on.
I don't think so. I think it's on by default.
Is
Anyway,
it?
it doesn't matter.
Oh.
So, it doesn't matter. But
Mm.
yeah, I had that same worry until they changed it. Now
Right.
it's lossless.
Yeah, the lossless is the way to go. And you don't just have to get it from Apple either.
No. I have no idea if Spotify does or doesn't. I
Not
have
yet.
no idea or
They've been
don't
promising
care.
it. Spotify is the only bigger player that does not yet have lossless audio available as part of their streaming service. Amazon Music HD will give you lossless,
Mhm.
and Tidal Hi-Fi has lossless. And as you mentioned, Apple Music, you can choose the lossless version of the music.
My fondest memory, not my fondest memory, my most vivid memory of a stereo stack is not being allowed to touch it. That's it.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
belonging to your
Parents.
parents.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. And because of that, the other ones that I saw at aunt's or uncle's house, you just didn't touch. Because they were just in these big glass cabinets
Right.
that the door was fun to play with.
yes, yes.
And that was my memory. That's really my memory of them.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Until I bought that little stereo for myself. And I didn't buy another piece of gear until I got back into records.
Yeah.
I bought just some shitty receiver and amp, and bought a crappy record player. And then that was, and speakers that I had from something. Yeah.
And now, what have you got
Little
now?
plastic earbuds that go
Oh,
in my
okay.
ear.
So you haven't bothered with a stereo system.
No, if we listen to music, we just usually play it through the speakers on the TV.
Right.
Or on my Bluetooth speaker.
Right.
Because it's just nice to have music in the house, and
Yep.
I'm not in this space of giving a shit about fidelity.
Right.
Like, it's got to be a thing. Like,
Mhm.
it's got to be a thing you really give a shit about.
Yeah.
Because even if it's not thousands of dollars,
Mhm.
it's more than 1,000 for anything that's decent.
Oh yeah. For
Right.
sure. Yeah.
So it's got to be a thing that you really want, a
Yeah.
hobby that you really got to give a shit about.
Yeah, I mean, if you're going to get into the game, you're going to be looking at least $750 a pair for some good speakers, and that would be at the extreme low end. The extreme low end. Mind you, if you wanted to get in on the game and your idea was to save as much money as possible, I would probably recommend Canadian-made speakers, because a lot of people don't realize this, but the National Research Council built a sound testing facility in Ottawa. And at one point, the federal government, I think in the 80s, basically went to the whole Canadian audio industry and said, hey guys, if you want to get a leg up on the competition, just come and do your testing here, and we won't charge you a penny, in an effort to give you guys a leg up over the rest of the industry around the world, who have to either build their own test facilities or lease them
Right.
from, the dudes who have them. And that made it possible for a number of Canadian manufacturers of amplifiers and speakers to tweak the sound of their units to a nice enough level to compete with a lot of mid to high end brands from around the world without having to cost a lot of money. And that's what actually drew me to the speakers that I still own to this day on those two shelving units there. They're Paradigm brand speakers.
Oh yeah.
And the thing that I was drawn to about them when the guy showed them off in the store is that they were one of the few brands of speakers that didn't add anything to the sound. They just tried to recreate it as accurately and as neutral as possible. Because some speaker brands have a tendency to add their own personality to the music. And yeah, Paradigm, I was really impressed with how they sounded, and yet they weren't that expensive. The problem was when you started trying to find an amp that sounded really good or that worked really good, that was low distortion. It's definitely not a cheap game to get into.
No, it's got to be something you care about.
Mm-hmm.
I really enjoyed buying my first stereo. There was something, really, I think it's like my only stereo, to be honest, but there was something special about it. It was really nice. It had a fancy 3-disc changer in it, and I think I bought it at Visions, haggled on the price, and all sorts of stupid shit. And I think it was with my first paycheck that I ever got. Yeah, I think it was. I remember sitting. The part that always got me is how loud it could be,
Mm-hmm.
and how good it still sounded.
Mm-hmm.
So I remember just sitting in front of it with my speakers nice and close and just destroying my hearing, but just in love.
Yeah.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
blown away by how great it sounded.
Yeah. It's so funny because how we do Christmas in this house, it's so weird. I don't know if I'm the only, I can't be the only person or couple that does Christmas like this when there's no kids left in the house. But because we truly have no freaking clue what the other person wants, we'll do some token swap gifts where, you know, she'll share her Amazon wish list or pick a couple of things from her Amazon wish list and say, oh, I really wanted this, but I have never gotten around to buying it. And then I'll buy it and put it in a, you know, gift wrap it and put it under the tree. But for the most part, the gifts that we're going to be opening on Christmas Day or whenever we decide to do it are going to be things we've already bought ourselves and then just put them away and, you know, wrap them up and put them away and forgot about them until Christmas.
The surprise is...
Yeah.
Yeah,
So we go, oh yeah, that's right. I bought one of these. And it works out great because it's stuff that we actually want. And as luck would have it, the majority of my stuff is all audio related.
Right.
I finally got around to buying myself wireless earbuds to go with my phone.
Yep.
And I bought myself one of those small JBL boombox type Bluetooth speakers so that I could take music outside and listen to it. Yeah, it's crazy. Like, I mean, like the amount of options that I actually have in this house for listening to music is excessive.
Yeah.
It's excessive.
I bet.
I've got the home theater. I've got the really nice speakers hooked up to my computer. I've got those things I just mentioned under the Christmas tree waiting to be unwrapped. I've got a Sonos network player upstairs, which, by the way, only gets used when we're either entertaining or at Christmas time when it's playing Christmas music all day until Darlene finally goes, enough! It's crazy.
I got one of those JBL doodads for Christmas last year.
Yeah, yeah.
And just a little cylinder.
The little guy, yeah.
A little cylinder. And I have a couple other ones. I can't remember who made them. Anyway, it doesn't matter. And anyway, and my wife's brother and wife bought it for me. And they were like, this thing is awesome. I was like, yeah, all right. It's a music cylinder.
Right.
I bet you, like,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
probably not terrible.
Right.
But, like, come on.
Yeah.
And I took it out, and I played music, and I was like, holy shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, this thing fucking goes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really good. Battery lasts forever, and it sounds wonderful.
For filling just the space with sound,
Yeah.
they do a great job.
Yeah, that's what we listen to music on in the kitchen, like at dinner.
Right.
At the dinner table.
Neat.
But because I have a 4-year-old, it's the same 4 songs every fucking day.
My next door neighbor has one, and I don't know if it's the JBL one, but regardless of which one it is, it's so fun to watch them operate it because whenever we go to visit with them and sit around, you know, the fire or at the table in their backyard, they're the perfect hosts. They take hosting to OCD levels. The setup is immaculate. There's no grass. It's all carpet and deck. The chairs are good enough to go inside. The furniture's good enough to be inside. You know, the portable fire, the fake plants, the real tree, the real plants, the hangings on the vinyl siding so that you can't see the vinyl siding on the garage. It's like a living room moved outside. and then there's the act of hosting. And they take it seriously. And great. I'm not complaining. But when it comes to the music playing, it's the music can hanging from a rafter of the garage, and the music source is the woman's phone.
Mm-hmm.
And because she doesn't really have it set up properly, it's like it's really loud and then it's really soft. And she turns it up so that you can hear it, and then the next loud song comes and it just blares, and it's and it's a whole night of volume adjusting because she doesn't understand the technology enough to just put it on normalize and be done with it.
Right.
And it's just so funny to watch because I've actually seen them get into fights, couple fights, about the music's too loud.
Oh, of course.
The music's too loud.
No, it's not.
You're bothering the neighbors. No, the neighbors are here. Oh, yeah, right. Well, what about the other neighbors? Fuck the other neighbors. Yeah, it's pretty hilarious. It's pretty hilarious. So speaking of Christmas, that was a pretty good segue, eh? From the talk about audio gear to
Whew.
Christmas.
It's like you know what you're doing.
Almost.
It's like you've done 22 episodes of a podcast.
Or something.
Or something.
So is there anything on your Christmas wish list that you hope you get? Or you know, if you were going to play like, oh my God, if I could have anything for Christmas, this would be it.
A cure for diabetes, Carl.
That would be cool.
No, I don't know. It's been so weird. Christmas and birthdays have been so weird since not working.
Right.
And it's only because I've learned something, which is that I just want things.
Right.
And it's fucking stupid.
Right.
And I recognized it because after not working, I started to enjoy the shit that I had bought and never fucking used.
Right.
Like I used that one time, or just got off on the fucking dopamine because now I have it.
Right.
Yeah, I'm
Not
really
using
bad
it.
for like, I think I might want this. And
Turns out not to be that big of a deal.
right. But
Yeah.
now that I don't buy things as frivolously,
Right.
I use all those things now, and I'm really enjoying them.
That's good.
Yeah, it's really actually kind of wild. So when it comes to what I want for Christmas, it's like ludicrous things that I can't have.
Right.
Like a new computer would be nice.
Right.
But like that's just not a thing.
Right.
So a nice
Well,
pair of headphones.
It's
I
a
guess?
nice thing to want.
Sure, I guess.
Me too.
Yeah, like of course. But it's never gonna happen, so I don't know. I guess I'm getting old enough to be like, fucking socks and underwear would be pretty dope.
Yeah.
Right? You
Yeah.
know? Just take all the money and spend it on our kid. Like
Yeah.
fuck it. Like
Yeah.
I don't need anything.
Well, see, and that's just it. It's that, okay, so we did that,
Right.
but then it's, you know, like, so what else do you want? Don't you want anything? And my wife was the same way. And she's like, well, I don't even know what to get you. And I go, well, I said, I'll give you some ideas and stuff that I wouldn't be disappointed at getting, which is hilarious because the kind of things that I'm asking for now as an adult is the kind of stuff I used to get as a kid and go, oh man,
Yeah.
more underwear again? And now it's like, ooh,
Nice sweater.
underwear, awesome.
Yeah.
I could throw out the ratty pairs now.
I got a sweater for Christmas last year and I was so happy.
Yeah.
And I just, who are you? Went into the bathroom and looked in the mirror and I'm like, you're a disaster. What the fuck happened, man? If it wasn't a video game, you were mad. And now, a sweater. Yeah, it's, I enjoy buying more than, like I'm still a spoiled brat. I still want presents.
Mm-hmm.
I just couldn't tell you what it is.
Right,
But I'll tell you if I didn't want it.
right,
Like I'm a total dick.
right.
I'm awful. I feel bad for everybody in my life.
Chocolates?
I'm a diabetic. No.
Obviously.
What the fuck?
Right. Sugar-free chocolates.
No, they give you diarrhea. No, I'm good. Don't
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, sorbitol is will go right through you. Yeah, man.
Funny, I never
Like
noticed it when I
shit
eat
through a
them.
goose, as they say.
I tried the sugar-free fucking Sweet Georgia Browns or whatever that Purdy's sells.
Mhm.
And I was quite impressed with how they tasted. I didn't notice it having any effect on me though.
Yeah,
Maybe I just didn't eat enough of them
Yeah, it's not one.
because I didn't go
it's
crazy.
many. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
it's
didn't eat
many.
half the box.
Yeah, you would have been spraying.
Is that right?
Oh yeah, it's terrible. Yeah, it's the first lesson you learn as a new diabetic.
Right.
Is sugar-free candy is the worst fucking thing ever invented.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
Yeah. Yeah. Wireless headphones, over-the-ear headphones. That's what I wanted.
Oh yeah.
That's what I want.
Yeah.
Yeah. I want them over my ears so when I go for a walk,
Oh yeah.
yeah, instead of the earbuds or whatever, because I can't stand them.
Apparently Sony make a really nice set that are worth somewhere in the neighborhood of $350,
Right.
and people rave about them.
Right.
They rave about them.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they are noise canceling.
Yeah, that'd be cool. But
Um,
I have a pair
Yeah.
of noise canceling headphones, and I bought them when I was drumming, so I could.
drumming.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
So while I was playing, I could also listen to music and play along to it, and not go deaf because drums are
Right.
very loud.
Yes.
And then I wore them to work, and like I ended up not liking them for work because I'd always be startled by people. You know,
Oh yeah.
like what the. Because you were
They
just
touch your shoulder and you be like,
yeah, because
Yeah.
you're in a whole other world,
yeah,
a whole other world.
yeah. Yeah, I guess my ultimate Christmas present would definitely be a new system, a new computer system, because mine is starting to get long of the tooth. But because I bought a half decent system as it was, it's still hanging in there. But,
I
just.
I laughed at myself, I guess a couple weeks ago. So my computer is getting, it's just rough. It's
Okay.
a rough go.
Yeah.
And I
Like,
had,
how old is it?
this is part of the story,
Oh, okay.
is that I had thoughts about, well, maybe I'll just get a new video card.
Right.
Right? Like, a new video card goes a long way, especially for my use case.
Right.
It's going to go a long way.
Right.
And I don't know, blah 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 blah. And then I was like, I wonder when I got this thing. So I wandered into Memory Express and I asked, like I'm buying a cable or whatever, and I said, hey, could you look up when I bought my computer? And he's like, yeah, sure. And then he just starts scrolling on the mouse wheel and scrolling and scrolling. And he's like, is this it? And I'm like,
I don't know if it
it's
goes
the most
past
expensive.
1900.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, it's the most expensive thing there. And he's like, oh, this is it. And I'm like, when? He's like, 11 years ago.
Wow.
I'm like, what the fuck?
Wow.
My computer is 11 years old. Yeah, I need a new computer.
Yeah, I'll say.
Like, I can't believe it's still doing anything.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. What are you running on it? Windows 10?
Yeah.
Crazy.
Mm-hmm.
But 11 years ago, it must have been a really high-end system.
No, it was mid-range.
Mid?
Yeah.
Really?
Video card was low, but yeah. I think I'm just patient.
Okay.
Like I'm a man of
You obviously can't be doing any really high-end gaming.
not high end. No,
No.
Christ, no. Nope, not at all.
Like you're not running Flight Simulator or anything like that.
No, definitely
Yeah.
not.
See, I am.
Right. And that's why I've never bought one, is that my use case was always, like the games that I played, like I played World of Warcraft forever. That game is 15 years old,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like I bought it to play World of Warcraft.
Right.
And then Minecraft and shit like that.
Yeah.
Like, and those are the games that I still play.
Right.
Well, one of them anyway. So
It's fine for that.
it's not anymore.
Okay.
Like it's
Getting glitchy.
just slow.
Yeah.
It's just slow. Yeah. She's tired.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I asked the guy, remember, is there anything I can do? And he just looked at me like I was fucking mental.
Right.
He's like,
Yeah. No.
no.
Everything,
Nothing.
everything in your system needs to be upgraded.
Yeah, like,
The chipset,
yeah, you're gonna have to buy a
your
new
bus
power supply.
speed,
you
your
idiot.
memory, everything. It's just
Oh,
not.
everything.
It's
Yeah.
not gonna. Yeah.
Right.
And if and when you finally ever do get a system, you're just gonna be like, holy shit!
Oh yeah, of course. Yep, absolutely.
I'm looking at a desktop in like 3 seconds.
Yep. Yeah. Well, I still tweak the shit out of it. She purrs still. Like I go from off to desktop in 6 seconds. Like she still hums.
I had to shake my head about, I'm going to say, okay, so my system is 6 years old, and this guy that I'm about to talk about, I think he bought his system a year after I did. So his system would have been 5 years old. When he found out that I was buying a new computer, he asked, so why are you buying a new computer? And I said, well, because I'm doing a lot of sim now. And, between the city building sim and X-Plane, and I'd like to be able to buy Microsoft Flight Simulator when it comes out and stuff. I'm going to need a certain level of system. And since I have the money now, I figured I may as well get it. And he asked me what I got, and I told him what the specs were. And he said, well, I'm going to probably need a system that can play Flight Sim as well. What should I get? And I told him what, the bare minimum that he should get. And I said, whatever you do, I said, you can skimp on this, you can skimp on that, but don't go below these specs if you want to have an all right time. And he didn't listen. He cheaped out on the graphics card and really cheaped out. Instead of getting the one I told him he should be getting, and if you have to, maybe the one under that, he got 2 more below that.
Oh, wild.
And I was just like, what did you do? And he goes, oh, the guy at the store said it would be fine. And I said, did you tell the guy you were going to be doing Flight Sim? No. He just asked if I was going to be gaming. And I said, yeah, but, nothing. And I was just like, oh, my God. And I got really mad at him because I was like, you asked me for my advice and you didn't take it. I'm not advising you anymore on this shit because you don't listen. And, for the next 5 years, all I got were phone calls going, my Flight Sim is always glitching. And I'm like, of course it's fucking glitching. And then he goes and he says, the beta version of the new one that's coming out in 12 months is glitching really, really badly. And I'm like, listen to yourself. 5 years ago, you bought less than what I told you was the minimum standard for flying Flight Sim. And you're wondering why the beta of the next version of the Flight Simulator is glitching. Stop it. Oh, by the way, do you have it? Yeah. And are you glitching? No. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. Because I listened to my advice and I bought the right gear and it's still working. It's right on the edge, but it's still working. He calls me the other day and he just spent another $2,800 on a new system. And this time at least he picked some good stuff. This time he finally picked.
$2,800.
Yeah.
That's a pretty good box.
It is. Like
it really
he
is.
bought the highest end i7 you can get. He bought a gaming level motherboard, Asus motherboard. He bought 2 terabyte M2 SSD card. He bought a GTX. Yeah, he bought a 3070 instead of a 3080.
That
And I thought,
jump
okay,
is huge.
yeah, that'll. He had a 2050. A 10, because I've got a 1080. He had 2 steps below that.
Sounds like a dude that doesn't update his drivers either.
No, he wouldn't know thing one.
That's
about
why
that.
he's getting.
He wouldn't know thing one about that.
That's what he's having. That's his problem. Anyway.
Yeah. You enjoy the Christmas dinner? Is that a big thing for you?
No.
Not really, eh?
No, not really. It's just, I don't know. It's just always the same.
We like going out for Christmas dinner.
Mm-hmm.
And I think part of the reason why we enjoy that more, not that we don't like making a turkey dinner at home. The thing about making a turkey dinner at home is that it's not one dinner.
No. You're eating turkey for fucking 2 weeks.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Or
It's
until it starts to
exhausting.
smell bad.
Yeah.
When you go out for dinner, for Christmas dinner, especially where we go, like, because we'll just treat it's the one treat a year, where you get to basically just go, okay, don't think about what this is costing us. Just enjoy the fact that you're going to get to eat exactly what you want, however much you want, and it doesn't matter that your wife doesn't like beets or Brussels sprouts with her turkey. She doesn't have to eat them, but I will. And that's one of the main reasons why I like going out for Christmas dinner, if it's possible. And then, of course, the other thing is because you just get up when it's all done and go home.
Yeah.
And there's nothing else to do. You don't have 3 dishwasher loads of pots and pans and cranberry stained fucking flatware and, towels
like
and
making
dishcloths full of turkey gravy. And
Yeah, exactly. I enjoy making it. Maybe it's because it's just not very good. Like Thanksgiving dinner or Christmas dinner, it's always mediocre.
Really?
Yeah, like it's...
In what way?
I don't know. Just other people's cooking is...
Better. Oh, other people's not as good.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
They're not necessarily
Got it.
mine. Like I'm certainly...
So if you were making it, you would enjoy it more.
No, because whenever you make food, you're always your worst critic.
Right.
And it's like, no, this food could have been way better.
Okay.
But it's just people who have been cooking for a really long time but still don't know how to do it. They've just been doing it the same way for...
Like, I used to go crazy about making sure the stuffing was cooked in the bird, and it's just such a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
Like,
because you got the stress of, like, I might fucking kill everybody.
Like, exactly.
Yeah.
And, it's hard to get it in, it's hard to get it out. You have to make sure that it is cooked thoroughly. And finally, I just went, there's got to be a better way to do this. And not only that, but there's got to be a better way to make the stuffing itself. And then someone taught me a little trick. And I was just like, man, that's ingenious. Why haven't more people thought about this? And why don't they just sell a box with the seasoning pouch and that's it? You provide all the other ingredients you like to put in your stuffing, and then just add the traditional mix of the seasoning to season it without having to make sure you've got a 12 spice rack outfitted with the exact stuff you need to make sage stuffing. Right? And that was the trick that I used. They just said, get the box of stuffing, just don't use that crappy fake stale bread cubes that comes in the pouch, but use the seasoning pouch to season whatever it is that you are putting together. And then just put it in one of those, aluminum thingies and plop it in the oven next to the turkey for the last hour and a half or whatever. Because with it cooking out of the bird, it's going to cook a lot faster.
Oh, yeah.
A lot faster. And if it gets a little bit too dry, then you just take a little bit of the juice that's accumulating in the bottom of the turkey pan and fluke, there. It's not dry anymore.
Yeah, our game changer was the Instant Pot pressure cooker.
Oh, yeah?
And it's not turkey. It's never turkey. Turkey
Right.
is always just so meh of a food.
And quite
always
labor
just-
intensive.
Oh, it's stupid. It's
Right.
just, and gigantic.
Yes.
Like they're not a small creature. So it's always like, I would make
So what do
chicken.
you guys make? Oh, yeah.
Chicken. Yeah.
Neat.
Yeah. Maybe a ham.
Yeah.
But
I like to do a ham once in a while.
I like ham. But yeah, for like a holiday meal, I'll do a chicken.
Huh.
And then cause
In
now,
the Instapot.
Oh yeah, for
Wow.
sure. And then I have a whole oven to do everything else.
Right.
For stuffing.
Oh, I love stuffing.
Man,
I
miss
just
it.
love it.
I
Love
still
it, love it,
wish
love
I could have it. So I can't have like stovetop, which is
Right.
the one. I can't eat it because it's got fucking weed in it. So,
Right.
but I don't know. I don't know if the seasoning does. So
Well, it probably, because
Yeah,
I mean, they
probably.
put that shit in everything, right?
basically,
They really do.
yep.
Anything coming out of a box is gonna kill you, one way or another.
Yep. Goddamn boxes.
I mean, there's just no getting around it.
No.
If it came in a box, you probably don't want to eat it.
But it's so good.
I know,
Oh my
because
god.
they're masters at making it taste good. That's why it comes in a box.
Filled with death.
Yes. You know packaged food is addictive when...
You and I look like the way we do.
No. You know packaged food is addictive when you're on a military base 400 kilometers, 800 kilometers from the North Pole, the geographic North Pole, and your cooks are masters of their craft, making dinner, well, all the meals, but making dinner every night for you, miraculous dinners every night for you. And you decide to pass on that to make a triple batch of craft dinner on the stove in your kitchenette in your dorm. That's when you know packaged food is addictive.
Yep. That's
You
true.
you passed up that for that?
Yep. And you
What
do it
is
again.
right? Yeah,
Yeah.
Like at
Often.
least twice a month.
Yeah, man.
At least twice a month.
Yeah, man. Could've-
And when someone would announce, hey, before you go to dinner, I'm making a triple batch of craft dinner, and all of a sudden you see the drool start to form at the corner of people's mouth. I'm in on the craft dinner. Do we still have ketchup? And you know, the anti-ketchup crowd will be like, "Fuck off with the ketchup."
what
Well,
kind
don't
of
put it on
fucking
yours.
asshole doesn't put ketchup on macaroni?
Oh, you'd be surprised.
Assholes.
You-
That's who.
Yeah, I suppose.
My wife doesn't put ketchup on her macaroni.
No?
Oh, no.
Wow.
It's almost led to divorce a couple times. Now, hot dogs.
What about them?
Can you cut those up and put that in that macaroni? Oh.
I don't, but I'll tell you what I do cut hot dogs up and put them in.
Mm-hmm.
Baked beans.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah, that's...
Like, come on.
Yeah, obviously. Yeah, I'm a big fan of the boiled wieners tossed into a bowl of Kraft dinner.
I know I would like it. I just don't need it.
Well, Christ, you're the one talking about eating Kraft dinner. What the fuck do you need out of that? It's glow-in-the-dark cheese.
I know.
No, you're fine.
Yeah.
Toss a fucking hot dog in there. Treat yourself.
Yeah.
Treat yourself,
Yeah.
as they say.
I think I have. I think I have done it. Because I know what it, you know, I can, my brain is telling me, you know what that tastes like.
You know what it's like to have wieners in your
it.
mouth.
You know it. Yeah. Actually, not to get too gross or anything, but holy shit, man. Kraft dinner with chopped up boiled wieners in it is like death squared in a pan. Like, let's take the most ridiculously bad for you processed boxed food and add some ridiculously bad for you processed cold food and see what you think of that. And it's delicious.
Heaven on fucking
Oh,
earth,
yeah.
man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When I was out living on my own, Hamburger Helper.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, are you kidding me?
Ding, ding.
I went
Never
through
did
a
it.
lot of that.
I never did it.
I
Ever.
went through a lot of that.
That little fucking glove hand thing always freaked me out. Little fucker.
And then I started actually trying to actually cook stuff, and then the hamburger helper finally fell by the wayside.
How often do you have it now?
I don't.
Really?
At all.
Really?
Yeah.
Should give her a go.
No. No need.
Again with his fucking
Well, no,
word.
because I know how to make casseroles that taste 10 times better.
But it's not about that. It's like the craft dinner. The craft dinner is good. But the craft dinner is good because of what you said.
The thing is, though,
It's like
it's
a
good.
drug.
Yeah, I know.
It
But
does
the
something to your brain.
problem though, is that the brain isn't so easily fooled anymore. Once you get beyond a certain age, your brain still remembers how craft dinner, how great it used to taste, and how you used to enjoy all 35 spoonfuls of it from beginning to end. When you make it now, you're still drooling about that memory of the craft dinner. But after the third or fourth spoonful, you realize it's all smoke and mirrors, man. It's not what it used to be anymore. I don't know if you've found that.
No, you can go
You're,
fuck yourself.
you're
man.
still enjoying it. Right?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
You're-
I found that
No way.
the enjoyment level has dropped off significantly.
I'm sorry you have no joy.
At the end of the bowl, I am asking myself, why did I do that?
Oh, don't get me wrong. I asked the same fucking question. But I am enjoying the whole ride.
Okay.
Oh my god, it's
No,
good.
not me. Not anymore.
Oh,
Not anymore. It just doesn't hold the same sheen. Doesn't have the same appeal.
Hmm.
The glamour is gone.
yeah, I live for nostalgia, it seems. I live in the past, as they say.
Hmm.
Yeah. Like Ichiban. If I could eat Ichiban, I would weigh 3 times what I weigh now.
Right.
Fuck, Ichiban is so good. It's the fun part about having a 4-year-old. Because I didn't. Before she was born, like, you didn't buy macaroni because you're a
Right.
grown-ass
Yeah,
man.
right.
And you don't buy macaroni.
Right.
Though it's amazing.
Mhm.
But you didn't. But now, she fucking loves macaroni.
Mm.
And I'm just fist pumping all the way to the store. Fuck yeah. I haven't had so many grilled cheese in the last 4 years.
Oh,
Holy
grilled cheese
shit.
is amazing. My
Oh.
wife turned me on to grilled cheese.
Whew.
And I used to have it as a kid. My mom used to make it, but
course you
nothing
did.
like my wife does. Because mom made it with processed cheese slices, and Darlene makes it with real cheese. And that's a whole other kind of grilled cheese sandwich.
Yeah, and both of them are delightful.
Yeah, but I prefer the real cheese ones now.
God.
I do.
Why do you have to pick? Why can't you just like them both?
Well, because processed cheese slices would never make it through the front door anymore. They're just not allowed.
I see.
We can have real cheese, so we have real cheese. The closest we'll get to processed cheese is when you buy like the Armstrong package of pre-sliced actual cheddar cheese. But there won't be any Kraft singles.
What
making
about
its
shredded?
way. Yes, which I know is an oxymoron because it turns out that shredded cheese has a lot of non-cheese material mixed in with it,
Yeah. But so what?
unfortunately.
Fuck it. Whatever.
But not a lot.
No,
It's still
just
real
every
cheese.
piece is covered
It's
in
just
wax.
it's just got filler so that it doesn't stick together.
Yeah. It saved me 4 minutes. Thank you very much. I didn't want to clean a cheese grater because then you got to reach up
Exactly.
inside
That's
of the
right.
fucking thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, that's inconvenient. I just want to die, so
Yeah.
I'll buy that.
I'd just rather cut open a bag and hope it doesn't go green in 2 weeks.
It doesn't. That's the fucking problem with it. That shit will last forever.
Not in our fridge.
Space cheese, man.
Space cheese.
Fuck.
Uh,
I found a bag at the back of the fridge this week, and I pulled it out because I was looking for cheese, and I looked at it. I didn't look in the bag. I was like, "Ooh, here we go," and I opened it, and I put that cheese on my food
oh my
because
God.
it was fine.
Wow.
I was astonished.
Did you look at the date?
No,
Okay.
never look at the date.
What?
I
She is anal about the date.
So
If the date is next week, she'll consider not using the product.
did you know that in the UK they are passing or have passed a law where they
Yep.
are no longer putting expiry dates
Yeah.
on food?
Yeah.
That is the most genius idea ever.
Oh yeah.
I love it.
Totally.
I love it. I wish they did
Keep
it here.
eating it till it makes you die.
Or until it's nasty.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then you get rid of
Then
it.
you get rid of it.
It
Yeah.
will save on so much food waste. No, I never look at expiry dates. I sniff it, look at it.
Oh,
And
I
I'd give
can't
her a
help
go.
it because the way my luck goes, she'll send me to the store for something that has an expiry date. I'll bring it home. The expiry date is in 2 weeks, and she'll just be like, "What the hell? Why did you buy this?"
Looks like I
I
have to
go,
eat all
"Well,
this cheese
yeah,
now."
I guess we're eating it in the next 2 weeks, or at least for the next 48 hours. uh,
Oh man. If I looked at expiry dates of food, I would be way more neurotic. I would be terrified. There's shit in my fridge that we moved
well, and
here.
that's just it. I'm not terrified. I'm only doing it to keep her happy. If it was up to me, I'd be using the same criteria. It hasn't grown legs yet and doesn't smell like a sewer. Must be still good.
Mustard lasts forever.
Right.
But not on that little fucking stamp, it doesn't.
No.
No. It's
No.
a goddamn... It's how they get you, the Illuminati, man. Buy more mustard. Goddamn.
This will probably rot your
mustard
socks.
industry.
An unopened mustard container is currently in our garbage because it is past its expiry date.
That's ridiculous. That
Not
bothers
a
me.
word of a lie.
That bothers me. What a waste.
Unopened. And isn't that crazy?
That is bonkers. Absolutely bonkers. I probably have expired mustard in my storage room that when the mustard in the fridge is gone,
You'll put it
we'll
in
just
the
eat
fridge.
it.
Yeah.
Fuck. And it's going to be ancient because neither of the girls like mustard, so it's all me. So it,
Right.
yeah,
It'll
And
be lasting
You don't
for
put
another
mustard.
5
On, you don't
years.
put mustard
Yeah.
on a lot of stuff.
Right. Yeah, no kidding. No kidding. It's one of the reasons why I've started buying smaller packages of things because otherwise, yeah,
You're gonna go to the fridge one day and it's gone.
yeah. She is so crazy about expiry dates. If there happens to be more than 2 liters of milk that's going to expire in the next 3 days in the fridge, we're having pudding. Cooked
Right.
chocolate pudding.
Yep.
It's guaranteed. Even if I have to go to the store to
To buy
buy
it.
the pudding to use up the rest of the milk. Guaranteed.
She would hate everything about my house. Because we don't buy milk because we don't have milk. But every once in a while I'll buy cream or something.
Right.
And I buy a liter thing.
Mhm.
And with that much fat in it,
Mhm.
it takes forever to go bad. Forever.
Right.
And it goes bad bottom up.
Right.
Right? So
So long as there's no clumps falling out of the
exactly.
thing, it's good to go.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah. And really, it's heavy cream. If there's a clump in it, it's heavy
It's
cream.
just cottage cheese is all it is.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We just caught it early. We should have eaten 2 foods today.
Yeah. It's bonus food.
Yeah.
Buy cream, get cream and cheese. You just have to be patient.
Exactly. Yeah. Like sour cream? Hold on.
Yeah, hang on.
It's coming.
Yeah. It won't be sour for long. Yeah, that is one expirable product that is never at risk of going bad in our house.
Sour cream?
Oh, yeah.
You guys just tear through it.
Oh, are you kidding?
Yeah, you got a problem.
It turns into chip dip within 24 hours.
Right.
Forget about it. It's gone.
I have a new favorite sour cream. It's Gallia,
Yep.
full fat.
Ooh.
It's like 18%.
Ooh.
It's as
I
thick
bet
as
it's-
butter.
Yeah. I bet it's good.
It's so fucking good.
Yeah.
It's crazy good.
Yeah.
It's delicious.
Should try it. We should try it.
And it's cheaper than all the other ones.
Really?
It's cheaper than It's wonderful.
But it's like having a tub of margarine.
Ye-
Practically.
Yeah. It's so thick. You have to thin it with mayonnaise.
Uh,
I love it.
that's funny.
Yeah. Yeah, we go through a lot of it too. All three of us love it.
Yeah.
My daughter fucking loves it.
Really.
Yeah. If it's on the table,
Yeah.
And-
What does she put it on? She just
her
spoons it?
mouth.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Just
she'll
eats
have
it right out of the thing.
spoonful of it.
No, wow.
Yeah, she does that with butter too, though.
Hmm. Yeah, we're a
She's
butter
amazing.
family. We don't
Oh.
use margarine.
Gross.
We're a
No.
butter family.
Of course.
Yeah. Yeah. I was, and that was actually her convincing me, because I used to buy margarine because,
You did.
well, because we were not well off enough in my family to afford butter.
Right, exactly. Yeah, you did. I always wanted just to be the parquet. I just
Right.
wanted to be the fucking king, man.
Yeah.
Big purple
Yeah.
crown.
Yeah, no, we always had margarine in the family, so I had margarine when I moved out, and then my wife was like,
Stop it.
get that out of here, go to the store and buy butter. And I'm like,
Whoa, what are we taking the Rolls Royce?
what's the deal? And then,
Then you taste
I
it.
had it, and it was like, oh,
Oh.
yeah, we won't be buying margarine again. Don't worry.
No. Room temperature whipped butter
Mm.
is mind blowing. It's so delicious. The quality of butter has taken such a fucking nosedive. It's not nearly as good. It's so expensive.
Yeah.
It's just not.
Have you ever tried cultured butter? Have you ever tried that?
Excuse me. No, I don't think so.
I think you'll find it's better.
Where do you get it?
It's in with the regular butter. It's just stuck with the more expensive stuff, like the garlic infused butter and stuff like that. Usually comes in a smaller package because, of course, they're going to charge you more for it.
Right.
Certain recipes will call for cultured butter.
Yeah, oh yeah. Yeah.
I wonder if the Hutterite colonies and whatnot that sell their chicken and whatnot at the stores, at the markets, also make butter,
I'm sure.
or could they?
Yeah.
Because I'd buy it
Yeah. I would too.
in a heartbeat, just like their
I even
chickens.
thought about making my own. It's actually not difficult at
Right.
all. At all.
Right,
Yeah. Maybe that's what I want for fucking Christmas.
a butter churner.
A butter churner. There you go, wife. Butter churner. That's what I want, and I'll make our own butter. I'll buy that ancient cream and I'll turn it into fucking butter.
Well, that was a grab bag of an episode.
Have you seen the new Indiana Jones trailer?
No. I heard a rumor about the new Indiana Jones movie.
Okay.
I heard that they reverse aged him for one of the scenes in the movie.
Oh, probably a number of them.
Yeah.
I'm sure a number of them. I'm sure his face is put on double a lot. The man's fucking,
Yeah, he's ancient.
he's almost 80.
Yeah. I started a new book,
Yeah?
The Mote in God's Eye by Jerry Purnell and Larry Niven. It's a longer book. It was written, it's not a modern sci-fi book.
What decade?
I'm not sure exactly. I'm sure Google knows. Hey Google, when was the book The Mote in God's Eye written?
On the website livejournal.com, they say, I kept reminding myself that this book was written in 1974. My sarcastic observations above might
Hey,
give
Google.
the impression that I didn't like
Shut
it,
up.
but I did in fact enjoy this.
So what, Mote in
The
God's
Mote,
Eye?
The Mote in God's Eye. It's actually the first book in the Mote series.
Okay.
And it's another one of those. Humankind meets, first contact with aliens.
I read Rendezvous with Rama.
Oh, wow!
Yeah.
And
It was pretty good.
yeah,
Yeah, it was quite good. I gotta be fair, it was quite good.
did it make you want to read the next one?
No.
Really?
No, because I read the
Even with the cliffhanger ending.
yeah, it wasn't that cliffhangery. Like
Okay.
it was, but
Okay.
so it was written as a single book.
Yes.
It was not intended to be
No, not
written
originally.
2, 3, and 4.
Not originally.
2, 3, and 4 are also not written by him. He contributes to 2,
Yeah.
but doesn't do 3 or
True
4.
enough, yeah.
And I've read that 2 just goes way off the fucking reservation with how it's done. It's significantly longer, and it's just a far more poor book. And 3 and 4 are just worse.
Mm.
So I wanted more. Like, I wanted to hear more about the characters after the thing bounced off the sun,
Mhm.
and then and then it ended, and it was like I was wanting more. I was left wanting more,
Mhm.
so I was satisfied.
Mhm.
And the cliffhanger was like, well, is it though?
Yeah, I know. It's only a cliffhanger in the context of if you read the next book, it's suddenly a cliffhanger.
Exactly. And if
you
you
don't know
read
it's
it,
a cliffhanger.
well, you do.
Unless
It's left.
if you don't know that there's more coming.
And I don't agree because I didn't know that there was 2, 3, and 4.
Oh, okay.
So when I read it, like, it is a cliffhanger,
Right.
but not like one you're mad at,
Right.
Or you're like, I can't wait for the next book. It was
Yeah,
just like,
you're just like, well done.
well, of course,
Great place to end the story.
yeah, neat. And then you just,
Move
I
on.
wrote the
Yeah.
story for the others.
Yeah.
Like, after the cliffhanger, I was like, oh yeah, well, okay.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, it was good. I found it actually. I struggled quite a bit visualizing.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, me too.
I didn't like how he explained some things.
When he was describing the environment of the the ship,
Uh huh.
it was really hard to visualize what it looked like because it was like nothing else you ever have seen before.
Right.
So you're trying
Inside or out?
inside.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So, he's trying really hard to describe what they're seeing,
Yeah.
but your brain just isn't putting it together. It's just
No.
going, how does that work? Huh?
Yeah.
And right? And you're trying to imagine, okay, so imagine you're standing inside a tube and there's water going all the way around it.
Yeah.
Like way up there and then all the way back down that side. And then you're just kind of like going, no, that doesn't work. But that's what it is.
Yeah.
And
Which
then
was clever.
And then every once in a while you'll see illustrations that artists have put together
Oh yeah.
trying to help you to visualize what's
Oh, I
actually
didn't
going
know
on
that.
inside
Okay.
the ship. Yeah, if you do a Google search on an image search on Rama interior, you'll be like, holy!
That's what.
Oh, that's what that's supposed to look like, eh? Okay.
And I really fucked myself because I had initially read that the vessel was a sphere.
Oh.
Because why wouldn't you?
Right.
A fucking cylinder.
Yeah.
Like, and then
Yeah.
they mentioned that the inside was the shape of a cylinder, and I was like, what the fuck? What
Yeah.
is with this book?
Yeah.
This doesn't make any sense.
No.
And I had to go back and I'm like, oh, I fucked it up. Actually, no, I didn't go back. I looked on the internet and I'm like, what shape is Rama? Cylinder. Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
It's a
I
Pringles
fucked it up.
can. Okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah, so it was neat. I had a hard time imagining what like the ground looked like.
Mhm.
Like, was it all metal? Was everything metal?
Yeah, I know.
Or was it dirt?
Right.
Like, use words like plane,
yes.
right? Like, the stairs got to, like, the
Yeah.
plane.
Yeah.
Okay,
What
well,
does
what
it
does
look
that
like?
mean?
Yeah.
Or what's it made of?
Yeah.
But because there was nothing organic living, like it certainly could be dirt.
Right.
It's just
They
devoid
didn't
of anything.
describe it like that. No.
No. Like, were there trees?
Mhm.
But no.
Nope.
Because
There was nothing.
right. The thing that fucked me up was the spike. Like, what?
Right.
Like, and the doodads off
Yeah,
of it. I'm
yeah.
like, what do you mean?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Yeah, I know. I had a hard time visualizing that myself. Because again, we don't have anything like that.
No.
So your brain is trying to create context
Yeah.
for a thing being described that no one has ever seen before.
Yeah.
And you're just kind of like going, what?
Yeah.
Why does it look like that?
Right.
Why
And-
wouldn't the back end of a spaceship where the engines are be tubes and pipes and blocks of machinery and stuff?
Right.
No, it's just these giant conical shaped dagger thingies sticking out from the back of the ship.
That do something.
Yeah,
But what?
that
Don't
have
know.
no
Which was
obvious
cool.
purpose.
And did stuff, but you're like,
Yeah.
what the fuck are you
How
doing?
don't even
But-
know how it works.
Yeah. Yeah. So it was cool. I think a part that, like, I dug my own grave, so to speak, is that I knew that it was a Dyson sphere sort of idea.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I read Sphere,
Ah,
right? Because that is a Dyson
yes,
sphere, obviously.
yes.
So trying to figure it out, and I spent far too long fixated on my assumption, which took me a long time to get over, because I was expecting energy to be in the middle, and the whole thing. But it was cool. It was cool. It was a neat book. I liked that there was, because obviously we're doing spoilers. I like that there were no bad guys. That was refreshing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was just cool. It was an interesting balance of like learning about their culture, even slightly, but just enough to just be like, okay, these people are fucking weirdos, and they're just like us, but on a solar system wide basis. They're just greedy and dumb and myopic.
Yeah.
I was hoping it was going to stay though. Now I'm reading another book called The Kite Runner,
Okay.
and it's just general fiction.
Mm-hmm.
It's about a kid growing up in Afghanistan in the 70s and in the 80s, and then having to flee, living in America and going back. It's funny because it's not great, but I can't put it down. It's funny. It's one of those.
So, shall we wrap it up?
Sure.
Let's say thanks to all our listeners who tuned in for another episode of
Talkbots. Talkbots that talk.
Guys that always talk about food. Bye.
Adios. Happy Christmas shopping. If you see something in the store that you want, get it now. It won't be there next weekend.
It's true. That's probably the hardest part about Christmas right now.